I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm still kind of sick, so I sound like crumbs. Let's go ahead and jump into this haul. I'm going to start off with the 2 new quads that Pat McGrath came out with for, I believe it's the holiday season, and she's calling them the Blitz Astral quads. I went ahead and I picked up both of them. I did feel like the price point was a little high for a quad, but all of the shades in these quads are her more unique formula, and they also come in the more luxurious packaging as opposed to the cardboard. So this first one is called Nocturnal Nirvana, and this is the outside packaging on this one. I have got one of the shades in this quad on my eyes today, and that's this green shade down in the bottom. So let's start off with the packaging here. It's magnetic. It's the same hard plastic, really heavy duty packaging as her larger eyeshadow palettes. On her most recent palettes, she has put the name on the back, but there is not a name on the back of these quads. So the only name identifying them is on the actual box packaging. And then there is a card inside of the box with the names on there. I really wish that she would just go ahead and print the names on the inside of the packaging somehow, as opposed to these cards, especially since there isn't a name indicating what palette it is on here. So here are the shades in Nocturnal Nirvana. You have got Incandescent Gold 003, Blitz Aquamarine, Blitz Purple, and VR Emerald. And to my knowledge, these are all new shades in both of these quads. So I've got VR Emerald on my lid today. That's that really sparkly, pretty green. Again, these are the more unique formula from Pat McGrath that are in both of these quads. And I do get along with them really well. I just have to make sure that I have a really nicely primed, kind of sticky base for them to adhere to. I feel like they go on the best with the least fallout and the most prettiness when there's a nice tacky base down. So all of these ones are the more smooth, unique formula. And there's one of the chunky ones in the other one, which I'll show you. It's a really pretty shade, but it has that more flaky texture. Let's try to get this smoother here. Right there. And it appears that there are little micro glitters in all of the shades, but they are extremely, extremely fine. Very, very fine. So that is the Nocturnal Nirvana quad right there. And then the other palette is called Iconic Illumination, and it comes in the red cardboard packaging. Same hard, heavy duty packaging as the other one. And these are the shades in there. You have got Astral Gold Allure, which is this guy right here. I've got that on the first part of my lid. That's the only one out of both of these quads that's that really kind of flaky, multi-dimensional kind of shimmer, is that guy right there. I really make sure to have a decent amount of primer on when I pack that on, and I just feel like it looks so pretty in the light. So that's Astral Gold Allure. Then you've got Blitz Bordeaux, Blitz Brown, and Bronze Gold 003 right there. This is just a really pretty one. Can you imagine like wearing this guy on Christmas? I'm gonna drop this. I don't know, I really get the Christmas vibes from this one. Right there. So there is Iconic Illumination right there. I also purchased both of her Eye Ecstasy palettes that she came out with these maybe a month ago. They're these smaller ones with 5 shades in them. These palettes have got shades that are already in existing palettes, or either they're her single shadows that are in here. There are no like special shades in here or that more unique formula from Pat McGrath. These are all more her standard formula. They come in packaging like this, which it's pretty to look at, but I can't help but feel like it's wasteful. And each shade in these palettes is 0.035 ounces per shade, which is a pretty decent amount of product that you're getting per eyeshadow. So I kind of feel like these palettes are geared towards those people who've always kind of wanted to try Pat McGrath shadows but didn't want to really pay that heavy price tag for it, because the packaging on these is very cheap feeling, which is the exact opposite of her larger eyeshadow palettes, but the quality of the shadows inside is really, really nice, and you're getting a good amount of product in each eyeshadow. So this first one is the Eye Ecstasy in Subversive, and this one has got the Synthetica eyeshadow, which I wanted that single eyeshadow. It's a really pretty purple shade. And I just didn't want to fork out the, I think it's $25 for her singles, and this was 25 bucks if memory serves me correctly. So Synthetica is in there. It's this shade right here. So this is Lapis Luxury, Gold Standard, Crimson Fire, Blue Blood, and Synthetica right here. So let me swatch some of these. If you want to dip your toes into Pat McGrath shadows, these are a good one to start with because the quality is definitely there in the shades. It's just kind of in a cheaper packaging, which actually is very travel friendly too. Look at those. Those are so pretty. And then these next two. So that guy right there is the Eye Ecstasy palette in Subversive right there. And then this is what that packaging looks like. It's just a very lightweight, kind of clearish, frosty kind of packaging. These do have a sticker on the back with the name of the shades as well. And then the other one is called Eye Ecstasy Sublime. And the shades that you have in here are Sinful, Gold Nectar, Sextrovert, Illicit, and Corruption. So a little bit more warmer palette here. Look at those. Those are so pretty. And these other two shades. That one's kind of got like a duochrome in it that's really pretty. So that guy right there is Eye Ecstasy in Sublime right there. Some pretty shades there. You can kind of see the two quads and then the 5 pans right there. And then I had also pre-ordered 2 sets from Haus Labs, which is Lady Gaga's new brand. And I got those a few weeks ago. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of share my opinions on the 2 things that I got. One of the sets, there was a lip gloss, lip liner, and an eyeshadow. And it came in kind of this little pouch like this. I can't remember the name of the sets, but somehow I did manage to double up with each set that I purchased on the lip liner. So I got 2 lip liners in the shade RIP, R-I-P, which is, it's called a demi matte lip liner. 0.046 ounces. This is just a standard wooden lip pencil. I do really like her packaging. I think that it's very cool, but I don't feel like the formula is super revolutionary. It kind of reminds me of the wooden pencils from Rimmel, which are very good lip liners as well. So I tried to wear this shade the last weekend on Saturday, and I ended up going over it with Charlotte Tilbury's Iconic Nude because this just kind of, after I put the lipstick on, it kind of just meshed into my skin color, and it didn't define my lips because the color is just a little bit light. It's a lighter warm toned nude, and I accidentally somehow managed to order 2 of them with the 2 sets that I ordered, so I'm not too stoked about that. But the color just doesn't look quite that right on me. I wish that it had a little bit deeper so that it defined my lips a little bit better. I think I called the first one the RIP lip liner. That's the name of all the lip liners, is RIP lip liner. The shade is On Point, E-N-P-O-I-N-T. So that is On Point lip liner. And then the other shade that I got is Ride, R-I-D-E. And I tried to wear this today, and it's just a very reddened pink shade that was a little bit darker than I had thought it was going to be. So again, not a shade that I wear all that often. It just pulled a little bit more red than I would have liked it to be. So that one right there is Ride. And then I got the lip gloss in Leriot, L-E-R-I-O-T. Again, the packaging is very, very cool. And I'm not a huge lip gloss wearer, right? But I was so gung-ho about getting my hands on Lady Gaga products because I'm like a huge fan of Lady Gaga. I think she's great. So So I didn't care. And so I got this lip gloss because there aren't a ton of products that came out. And what's crazy about this guy here is the end of this is kind of shaped like her claws, like her nails, the way that they're shaped like that. So I thought that was kind of a little neat detail. But this gloss again is called Riot, and I think it's meant to go with this lip liner right here because it matches pretty closely. It's got pretty good pigmentation for a gloss. It doesn't really have any fragrance. I kind of would have liked a slight vanilla. And then the last product that I got is the All Over Liquid Shimmer Powder in Glam Attack. And I thought this was a liquid eyeshadow, but now that I read it and it says All Over Liquid Shimmer Powder, you could probably use it on your face as well. This is what the box packaging on her stuff looks like as well. So this is the shade Glam Attack right here. For a shadow and a highlighter, it's very underwhelming. This is what it looks like right here. And that's a heavy, heavy swatch. It's very, very liquidy. I kind of feel like it's almost a little bit too liquidy because then it travels and disperses a little bit too much, leaving less pigmentation and kind of shimmer. So that's a heavy swatch right there. And then I'll kind of blend it out here. And there's quite a bit of glitters in there. For an eyeshadow, this really does not do it for me. But tapped over a highlighter that I already have on my face, it would add some really pretty sparkles, I guess. But for the most part, I'm really underwhelmed with Lady Gaga's stuff. I think her packaging is really pretty and all that, but we need eyeshadow palettes. We need blushes. We need bronzers. We need bullet lipsticks. So I'm hoping that they're probably working on some of that stuff soon. And the products aren't bad. They're just very underwhelming for what I was expecting from Lady Gaga, you know. Next up, I was in Walmart and I saw 2 new palettes from Milani. I decided to only go with one first because they were quite expensive. They're 20 bucks, which cardboard Milani palette in Walmart, I kind of feel like that was a bit much. I think it was $19.99, 20 bucks. So I went with the green one and it's called Gilded Jade, and they're the hyperpigmented eye and face palettes. This is what the box looks like. And then you've got kind of 2 face products that can also be used as eye products, and then 9 eyeshadows. And these are just really nice. I've used them a couple times. The highlighters are 0.11 ounces per shade, and then the eyeshadows are 0.02 ounce, which is small in terms of the amount of product that you're getting, but this highlighter is very pretty. It's got like a golden green kind of iridescence to it, which goes with the theme of the eyeshadow. So here are the 2 highlight kind of shades right there. Very pretty. And then these shadows, very pretty as well. There's a good range of light and dark shades and shimmers and mattes as well. That chartreuse is so pretty. And then these next guys. Milani can really do some wickedly nice foils. And then these bottom 3. These ones are all kind of like matte, satin matte shades. That's so pretty too. So like pretty good, right? A little expensive for Walmart and Milani, but I think the quality of the products is pretty good. So that's the Milani Gilded Jade Hyperpigmented Eye and Face Palette right there. And then at Ulta, I did go ahead and purchase the Too Faced Hot Buttered Rum eyeshadow palette. I kind of got a little feelers for these palettes. I think the quality inside is very nice, and they're just really cute, travel-friendly palettes. And this one does smell, it smells sweet. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a spot-on buttered rum smell, but it still smells sweet. So here's the packaging. It is a tin packaging, and the names are on the back of the palette. You've got 6 shades that are 0.02 ounces. Again, a little bit small in terms of the amount of product that you're getting, but the pans are pretty good size. And then these ones are 0.03 ounces. And you've got a good range of light, medium shimmers, and then matte shades. This one up here is one of those mattes that have micro glitter shot through it, but it kind of comes off as a matte eyeshadow. So that's this guy, and then for true mattes, you've got this one, these two, and then this guy, and then the other three are shimmers. But the quality of this is pretty nice. Nice warm palette with a good smell that makes you want to eat cookies. Pretty nice. There's the first 4. And here are the bottom 4. Pretty nice, man. So that is from Too Faced, and it's the Hot Buttered Rum palette right there. And then from Ulta Online, I got both of the new Nabla QT palettes. This first one is the nude palette, and it's a cardboard packaging that this comes in. This one's a little interesting. These shimmer shades right here in the middle are stunning. They're absolutely beautiful. But these shades right here and kind of this black I thought were mattes, but you can feel there's a heavy silicone in there. So like when I was blending them over my primer, they almost looked like a cream shadow, which, I mean, the look turned out pretty decent, but I kind of had to go over with a translucent powder to matte it down because there's some slip to those shadows. They almost kind of feel even like creams, but these two are so pretty. So I'll give you guys some swatches. Sometimes when companies overdo the silicone, I kind of have a little bit of trouble with them because they almost feel like cream shadows, you know. And then these 2 shades. This color is so pretty as well. So that one is the Nabla QT palette in nude right there. And then the other one is the number 2 palette in coral. It's just because it's got coral packaging. I like this one a bit better because the mattes in here, there's 2 mattes that are true mattes. And then this red shade right here is kind of like a satin shimmer shade, I guess. But the mattes in here are this brown and then this coral shade. And then these colors are like super sparkly. So let's give you some swatches here. So there's the first 3, and then the bottom 3. Great pigmentation on those guys. So that one is the coral palette, and that one is the nude palette, and those are the QT palettes from Nabla Cosmetics. And I got these on Ulta Online. I haven't seen any Nabla in the store just yet, but hopefully they come because I think that would be pretty cool. Also from Ulta, I got another one of the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealers, and I went ahead and I bought the shade C1. I originally bought C2, with a cool undertone, but I'm kind of getting lighter as it's getting colder outside. We actually got snow, like covered all the ground, and I'm like, too soon, man, too soon for that. But it totally snowed the other day and I'm just like, no way, dude. But anyway, I went ahead and got a lighter shade in the shade C1, which doesn't have that cool undertone, but it's a little bit better for underneath my eye for kind of brightening. And since I've been like not well, I need a lot of brightening. This concealer is like $10 at Ulta, and they always have like sales and coupons and stuff floating around. But I really like this concealer. I do feel like it's hydrating and it covers. I would say it's like a medium coverage, but if you wanted to build on it, you could kind of go for medium full, but it's not something as heavy as like the Tarte Shape Tape or anything like that, but it feels really nice. And I kind of feel like with my drier under eyes that it does feel slightly hydrating, but it just looks really pretty underneath the eyes. So I went ahead and I got the shade C1, and I'll swatch it next to C2 for reference as well. It's got a large doe foot applicator, and you get a pretty massive amount of product in there. So here's C1, And I've got this underneath my eyes today, and it's just marvelous. And then here is C2, which has got, it's a little bit darker with a little bit more of a pink undertone. Right there. This formula is great. I would love this in a lighter pink shade. But that is from Revolution, Makeup Revolution London, and it's the Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer. Another product that I recently repurchased and used to use a lot is the e.l.f. Under Eye Brightening Powder. I threw away the box. I think the title is still the same, but I used to use this so much back in the day, and it had little tiny super fine sparkles in it, but they always brushed off the skin. This one does not have those sparkles in it, the newer one. Again, it's been a while since I had bought a new one of these, but this particular formula is so pretty. It doesn't oxidize underneath the eyes, or it doesn't oxidize your concealer either, and it's just so smooth looking. I have this over the top of that Makeup Revolution concealer as well, and I've been wearing it kind of nonstop over all the concealers I've been using, and it just looks so pretty. I'm like looking in the viewfinder and my nose looks red. I've been blowing my nose and my makeup's coming off, sorry. But this is like $5 at CVS or wherever they sell e.l.f. and it's a great under eye setting powder. I love it. Super finely milled. It's kind of brightening. It doesn't oxidize. I don't know if a swatch will do any good. It's so smooth. It feels like silk. But that's from e.l.f. And I believe the title is the Under Eye Setting Powder, and it says sheer on the back of here on a little sticker. And then a little while ago, Colored Raine had sent me over their whole collection that they did in collaboration with the TV show Power. This is what the packaging on this guy looks like, and I'd been meaning to talk about these sooner because I'm obsessed with two of the highlighters in their cheek products. Well, they're the highlighters in general, and all of them are kind of that same type of formula, but those particular two are light enough for my skin tone. But I feel like they are a pressed powder version of the Anastasia Beverly Hills loose highlighters that I'm obsessed with. I've got them on the top of my cheekbones today. I like to mix two colors together, which I'll show you here in a minute. But you can like see through your skin, but it sparkles so pretty. If you don't like heavy, shine on your cheeks, you won't like them. But there's something about them that give that high shine while still allowing your skin to kind of show through it. I just think that they're stunning. So let me show you those two first. The blush shades in these are also extremely pigmented. I'm able to use them with a fluffy brush on my cheeks and get them to turn out really nice, but they've got wicked pigmentation. So this first one is Damage Control, and it's kind of that soft matte type of packaging that feels pretty luxe. And these are the highlighters. I'm obsessed with these. I need these highlighters to come out in a big single compact. Just saying. So I mixed this one with another shade that I'm going to show you. And again, the blushes are beautiful as well. This one is a matte blush inside of here. And this has got kind of a golden champagne highlighter to them. I've worn these actually in quite a few of my videos. If you guys look in the description down below, I do list what I have on my face in my videos. But that's the duo in Damage Control. And then the other one I've been wearing a ton is Prove My Loyalty. And this is the one that's got it's a pretty white, I guess I would just call it a white type of highlighter. I don't really want to say it's silver. It's got a white sparkle to it. And I've been enjoying mixing this with this highlighter right here. And again, that's what I have on my face today as a highlighter. And it's so pretty. They're so pretty. And then this is a matte red blush. Again, wicked pigmentation on those guys as well. Look at that. Can you see how pretty those highlighters are? The blushes are pretty too, but I'm really obsessed with the highlighters. So that one is Prove Me Loyalty. And then I'm going to swatch the other two duos as well. This is My Day One right here. I can use this kind of as a blush topper, and big fluffy brush for me on this one because again, these are very pigmented. And this is a matte blush as well. The texture of these highlighters is just stunning. I'm obsessed with them. Look at those. So pretty. So that one is My Day One. And then the last one is called Call the Shots. These are both blushes for me on my skin tone, so like a shimmer. And this one actually is not a full-blown matte. I'd call it kind of a satin. And then I also wanted to swatch the eyeshadow palette, which they're calling it the Power Palette, because I really, really love and recommend Colored Raine eyeshadows. Their mattes are intensely pigmented and they blend out so beautifully, and their metallics are just really in your face, high shine, great pigmentation. There was only one shade in this palette that was a little bit flaky and more difficult to use, and that was the shade Legacy. It looks like a white, but it's got a really strong purple pink duochrome to it, so I had to make sure to pack it over a sticky base, and then you could really see the multi-dimension of it, but it is more of a chunky, kind of flaky shade. All the other shades are just very, very intense pigmented eyeshadows. And I love Colored Raine eyeshadows. I think I have them all. Well, I hope I do. This is a really pretty duochrome as well. I had used this one on the inner portion of the lid and that one on the middle outer, and it was so stunning. And then these three. The matte shades in here are this guy, that one, and then these two down here. And then these last three. So really pretty berry purple palette. Right there. So there is the eyeshadow palette. Right there. And there are those duos. So pretty. Such pretty products from Colored Raine. Again, I love their eyeshadows. I had tried some Colored Raine pressed highlighters that they came out with some time ago, and they were nice, but I wasn't like totally head over heels for them. These new ones, I'm loving them. I really feel like they're pressed versions of those ABH loose highlighters. So anyway, big thank you to Colored Raine for sending over these products, because they're super, super pretty. And then lastly here, I've got two palettes from my beloved Viseart. This first one is the Dark Edit palette, and I purchased this guy off of the Beautylish website. So this is what the outside packaging looks like. This is their little guy with 12 shadows. There's a total of 0.42 ounces of product inside of here, and then the packaging is kind of that matte cardboard, and it flips open. It has a little mirror in there, and then the little protector that covers the shadows. These are magnetized inside the palette, so you can pull them out and put them into other magnetic palettes and kind of spice it up and stuff. Everything in this palette is pretty dark, so for kind of how I like to do my eye looks, I do incorporate lighter shades with it, so it's kind of a pairing palette for me, but it is also removable, so I can mix it with other, you know, edits that I have or magnetized shadows that I have from Viseart or any brand for that matter. But the top two rows are matte, and then the bottom are, they feel like that kind of crystalline type of formula that's in their Grand Pro Volume 2. They feel kind of like that with heavier pigmentation, like metallic. They're very, very pretty. And then I'm head over heels for Viseart matte eyeshadows. Bar none, some of the best on the market. You guys have heard me go on and on and on about Viseart mattes for I don't know how many years. So there are the first four, and I've said this a couple times as well. Sometimes their shadows, especially their mattes, don't swatch on the hands. It's when you use them and put them on the eyes that kind of where the magic happens. I almost feel like they blend and put themselves on. That's just how easy they are to use, and they're very buildable and blendable. And another thing that I really like about them is you can really mix and match colors, and they can mesh to form a new color. They blend really well like that. I love this green shade right here too. This is just like a very fall vibes palette. And then these bottom four, which are the shimmer shades. I guess I'd almost call them the metallics actually, because they're very, very shiny. There. So there is the Viseart Dark Edits palette, and I purchased this off of the Beautylish website. Right there. And then lastly here, I have got the Viseart Grande Pro Volume 3 palette to share with you guys today. Now, Viseart and Muse Beauty Pro did send this over to me, so I want to say a big thank you to them for that. I love Viseart matte eyeshadows. When I first started seeing like the promo pictures on Instagram and stuff, it's one of those things that gets my heart to go like, you know, flutter and whatnot, which sounds totally cheesy, but and I had wanted to do a standalone video on this palette last Sunday, and I tried, but I was riding the struggle bus, man, because I was not well. So I don't want to not swatch this palette for you guys, and I'm also going to show you it next to the other Grande Pro palettes in another palette that they fit perfectly in there, which just really excites me. So I'll show you that afterwards. I'm going to depot this and put it in that palette so you guys can see them all together. It's like really, really pretty. So this palette here comes with 30 eyeshadows. Each shade is 2 grams per shade, which is a massive amount of product that you're getting inside of here. And then it has that same style of packaging as the first palette. It's like a soft kind of faux leather feel, and it flips open. It has a mirror in there, and there is also a plastic sheeting over the top. Now, all the shades in here are matte eyeshadows, and I've kind of been using these nonstop since I got this palette. I used these shades right here when I was trying to do my demo last Sunday. The look turned out so pretty, but I couldn't pull through for the rest of the video. But those shades, there's some very unique colors in here for matte eyeshadows, like these periwinkle blues and like this green shade right here. I don't think I have a matte green that's quite that vibrant but still pastel in my collection, but some very unique shades in here nonetheless. And this is the palette that I have got on from my crease upwards, paired with the Pat McGrath shadows that are on the lid. I had used, I think, these 3 shades, this brown, and then I think this green right here kind of through the crease was this one. They blend out beautifully. They have wicked pigmentation. They're just so easy to use with such vibrancy. I'm going to go ahead and do it in columns so you can see the shades all together. We'll figure out how to get that 5th one in there. These are just so pretty. I have to start up high so I don't run out of space. And then this kind of sky blue shade. Then moving over into kind of the teal greens. I almost feel like there's swatching these like this, that there's a little bit more of a buttery feel in these shades as opposed to some of their other mattes. They feel a little bit more creamy. In this last green shade, teal, I guess it's like a teal green. I love that color. So there are kind of the teal greens. And then this next row is more of a true green row. And this guy right here, I've used this shade a lot. It's kind of like a army green. Right there. I think I might have to, I'm gonna run out of room. So here are the swatches for the first 3 rows with the blues and greens. Your blues, kind of your teals, and then your greens, or true greens. Now we'll get into kind of the reds and oranges. These ones are kind of like burgundy reds, kind of pinky colors. And this guy down here. Kind of a dirty orange. Astral, which is leaning more towards the oranges. I love some of those mustard shades, they're so great. I like to mix those mustard shades in with those green shades. That's kind of what I did today. Look at that orange. Look at that orange. Matte orange. Let me give you this guy. And then this last row over here, which is kind of like yellows and yellow browns. And these yellows, for matte yellows, are not super easy to do. They're great. Like super pigmented. I went in with one of those yellows that one day and I just picked up too much, and I mean, I didn't expect it to go on that intense, and it was like, boom. Yeah, it was yellow. And then this very last one right here, which I've been using a lot as the brow bone highlight shade. It's got a yellow undertone to it. Oh, I think that's kind of a stain. Oops, sorry. It should be like kind of like that. But there are the other 3 rows right there. Super pretty. I really feel like this is the perfect addition to go right along with the Grande Pro Volume 1 mattes. Like let me put it in the magnetic palette so you guys can see next to each other along with the Grande Pro Volume 2. The combination is endless. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. This just excites me to no avail. This is an Adept Cosmetics palette. It's kind of this shade is like a pinky color. And this is a double-sided palette that has got a clear plastic divider in the center. And when I got the Volume 3, I was like, I wonder if 2 Grande Pros would fit on one side. And they do perfectly. So that's what I did. Look at this. Look at this. So right here you have got the Grande Pro Volume 1. Then you've got the Grande Pro Volume 2. These are all matte eyeshadows. Like, I just like to stare at it, not gonna lie. And then here's the clear plastic piece that goes between the two, because I know like a lot of like working makeup artists and stuff like that, they like to keep their shimmers and their mattes separate because of the micas and little glitters. They don't want them to transfer. There's a little protector that shoots over like that. And then I put the Grande Pro Volume 3 right here. And then I did put my Koi palette in here as well because I use this palette a lot for just really pretty lid shades. But now that we have this looking like this, I think, let me know what you think. I think that we need a Grande Pro Volume 4 with more shimmers and sparkles and crystalline formula. What do you think? I think so. That's what I'm thinking. How visually pleasing would that be to have another Grande Pro palette right here? I feel like that would probably be, this would probably be the only eyeshadow palette I would need for the rest of my life, to be honest. So you've got all your mattes and then all these pretty shimmers over here. Isn't that, it's just so aesthetically pleasing to look at. But let me show it to you guys. Look at this. I'm actually going to slide these over because there is this space right there, and then that'll allow me to grab this plastic piece right here without kind of gouging an eyeshadow. I should have did that beforehand, but it'd be better to line them up on the spine side. So anyway, you can kind of see all the palettes right there. There's the 1 and the 3, and you can just kind of see how well the 3 complements the first one. Like super, super well. Like the combinations that you could do in there is like endless. Right? I just think that's so exciting. So anyway, that's everything for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.